Ooh. Welcome, Pocket Casters, or welcome, my pockets and my casts. Yeah.
I'll take that.
We appreciate you, especially if you are a return listener. Things got a little crazy on our end, mainly my end, I would say.
Life happened.
Life happened. I had another baby, and so
No one knew it was coming.
I mean, we knew it was coming. It just came a little bit early. Stop doing that with your head. You're freaking me out. And so we were already planning to be gone for 3 weeks. And then, so this just added one more week on top of it. Turned out it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed as I finished the game for once. We both did. This is the first time since Solo 2 Robo, I think, since we both beat the game. And as I recall...
Did we beat Solo 2 Robo?
Kind of. I think we found out later on that once... Because we got to end credits, but then we found there was like another version you could play. And then found out that actually does continue the story on. Or it's like a prequel or something to it. But I felt like it was fair to say that we beat the game-ish at the same time. So I guess before we get into it, there's some random things I want to talk to you about, Ed, because I know I'm not going to remember to segue into them.
Hell yeah, hit me.
First thing I was thinking about the other day was a Blink-182 biopic movie.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. I feel like. I'm curious. I'm just really curious about... I know that there used to be a different drummer, and then allegedly he went to rehab, and so they replaced him with Travis Barker, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it. But
I guess.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. And then before we were recording, we were looking at a music video. Another biopic I'd like is LMFAO. I'm not a big LMFAO fan, but I was really intrigued at their entrance into... I think they were like a MySpace band is how they got known, and
were
they had that video for Yes that I was showing you, and I dug it. I thought it was so cool, and then came to not really care for LMFAO.
Yeah, they had like a couple of cool anthem songs that were empty.
And empty anthem songs, yes, absolutely.
It's about all they do. So,
and it will for sure fill the that 21 to 25 or 6, like my early 20s.
Yeah. Because
that was what was playing in the bars all the time. It didn't matter where you were. Someone was going to put it on, whether it be ironically or not.
I would take LMFAO over, who does that Timber song?
Timber. If I was a certain level of drunk, I love that song.
Yeah, I did too for the first 20 times, and then it just never stopped.
And I don't know if our experience...
Every Friday night, dude. Like, it was the most played song. They'd play it every third song.
Our experience isn't niche by any means, I don't think.
I'm sure
but
not.
It is, like, niche to a point. I feel like you have to be from a smaller town where the jukebox is playing either the shittiest pop hits from now all the way back to 80s, or it's playing like the same but with country, and you get one or the other, or some really weird random rap songs that just always come on, and there's just some random fucking songs that you're like, why was that in the rotation?
Yeah, I don't, dude. Yeah, I'm DJing out here.
It was a jukebox, I guess. It's our peers' fault. It's our fault. I'm sure we were playing some trash as well. I know I was. And then
yeah, I did the "What's Up, Pussycat" thing.
Yeah, who doesn't do that when they hear that joke?
It's a good one.
There was another thing I was going to talk to you about. I don't know what it was now. I think it just involved. I wanted to do a little house cleaning. Is that what you call it? Before we start.
I don't know.
Arranging things. Yeah.
Oh.
I had a surgery a couple weeks ago and had to take a painkiller. So if things get weird,
and they will,
I apologize.
I don't.
Morgan said as I was leaving the house, "Be funny," and I was like, "I'll be the funniest I've ever been."
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. Be funny. No fucking problem. That's my only character trait.
All right. Well, now that I think I've covered, of course, I should write a list down. I did one week where I wrote down a list of all the random things that came into my mind to share with you.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
And
when we first started doing this, I remember putting a lot more time into like doing research and preparing notes and like coming up with talking points, and then I would have to have it pulled up on one screen. And if I didn't, then I'd be like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. And then I was like, man, scripted me isn't funny, and scripted me is sweaty. So,
a script I don't necessarily need. Reminders I could use.
Reminders are great.
You know, but then you end up looking at a reminder being like, oh, what the fuck is that mean?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Idea.
Who wrote this?
Let's just go ahead and get into it. We are PocketCast. I am Fletcher. This is Ed.
What's up?
I love how our lighting just got so good once you flexed.
I know. I fucking
you fixed the lighting. Yeah, that's awesome.
We were so.
We're a little orange today because, as I've said, we have a new baby, and so we're recording earlier, and we'll see if this stays like this. It may for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the first time we've recorded in the light.
Yeah, I think you are correct. We are a podcast that covers Nintendo DS games and Nintendo DS everything.
I wouldn't say everything.
Everything.
But
anything DS related, we'll
as long as it's
it.
not smart. Like we don't like look shit up and take it apart and like fix shit.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, we're not the technical
side
of it.
We'll just talk shit about it.
Yes.
Or just talk about
we're
it.
The broier side of that spectrum.
And I like to say we're pretty fair. We're pretty honest.
If you're out there, if you are the technical Nintendo DS podcast, let us know. We'll hype you up. We'll give you some shout outs for sure. But as far as I know, we are the only Nintendo DS podcast.
Automatically makes us number one.
Automatically. It's by default. You can't argue it. We covered this week. Well, this month.
I was going to say, this is the July episode.
The July episode. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. As I'm saying this, I'm realizing I forgot to call Casey. I called my cousin Casey. And I said, hey, man, would you like to be... Because he is the know-all... I remember one summer when he was living here, he played through all of the handheld Castlevanias.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I don't know if he did it just in that summer or if it was like something he'd been working on for a while, but...
Did we talk about this at the end of last episode?
We very well may have.
Our modest jealousy of Casey's finesse with these various titles that, at least for me, I never got into, but always thought looked good.
Yeah, and like,
hold on, sorry, let me fix that.
Not only does he get into it and play it, he ends up being really good at it and playing every single one. I guess that might be a little bit of autism, huh?
I mean, don't we all?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely in my bloodline. So I forgot to call him today because I did call him the other week. And he was totally down to do this.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, if I have time. But, like, he was like, yeah, for sure. And it sounded like he was going to play the game. So Casey, if you're listening.
Sorry about it.
Sorry. I hope you enjoyed playing Dawn of Sorrow again.
We love you. Honestly, I only thought about him the entire time I played this game.
I did, too. I also had the thought that... So, I played this game a bit in the hospital. And...
It's a good hospital game.
So I will now forever associate my daughter with Castlevania.
That's weird.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? But I will. Anytime I'm playing a Castlevania game, I will think of her now.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
You know what else is fucking wild? Remembering that you have a fucking daughter now.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Yes, it is. Yeah. We are a nuclear family now.
Touche.
So this was your first time playing a Castlevania game?
No, and actually not even specifically this game, because after you bought me the DS, it did have Dawn of Sorrow on it, and I did play on what I had thought was like a fair amount. I had beaten like 2 bosses, and like kind of cut my way through a little bit of the castle area place.
Yeah.
And I torched through that first little bit pretty quick, like within an hour and a half, 2 hours. I caught up to where I had like played the most, but that was probably about a year ago, if not a little more.
Yeah.
And I fucking beat the fucking shit out of this game, dude. I got every fucking ending. I found damn close to every single item. I didn't get all of the abilities, but I did get 100% map completion. I fucking loved this game.
This was
This game
an
was
awesome
fucking
game.
dope, dude.
The addiction is insane.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed that I never played one of these games as a kid. I'm so upset about that.
There was a part of me that was like, Ed, do you just want to become a Castlevania podcast now?
Like, honest to God, kind of. Like, I want to dig into the lore and like.
I've been watching videos through this whole week or month, excuse me, of the lore, and I am on part 4. I believe every video is at least 30 minutes long. And there's a good bit to go through because I just got to this game and I didn't want any spoilers because I had a feeling like you feel such progression in this game. The growth that you feel.
It's so natural. It's so well paced.
It's so noticeable, and so much so like I can beat this game because you go up to a boss and you might lose a couple of times, but then you figure out the way that you can figure out the pattern. It's kind of like a shoot 'em up bullet hell game in a sense, like of how you have to dodge, get your attack in when you can, be patient.
But it's super forgiving in that sense, I feel also.
And because there's 100 different ways to beat this boss.
Yeah.
You know, if you use the right method, I think every boss is easy. I'd be really interested to watch a speed run of this. Then I'd know that there is like a glitch free one because I think there is a glitch where you can like skip through the map, but I didn't run into that ever.
No, I didn't either.
But I'm sure if you're looking to do it, it's probably...
I beat that fucking game like God intended. With my bare fucking hands.
I think I got every ending as well. Are there multiple endings at the very ending? Then if there are, I did not. Because I got one ending at the very end.
Fuck. I'm trying to remember.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
because
like when the actual final boss?
I think at about 70% or so, you can complete the game. It's not a bad ending, but it's also not a good ending.
Is that the one where you killed Darius?
Yeah, and you like something just feels off, right? Yeah.
It's in that big ass like room with the mirror, the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's how you unlock
because you can either kill him or you can like go through the mirror world and fight his demon.
Dude.
So good, dude.
So cool. Like, there's just so many levels of detail. Because so here's what I think this is my first time truly beating a Castlevania game.
For sure, same.
I did just beat like last year Bloodstained, which is a spiritual successor to it.
That sounds fucking dope.
And it was really interesting to see in that game. And I know a lot of the Castlevania games are slightly repetitive in story and characters and all these things. So it was interesting to see all of this stuff that was in Bloodstained all the way back here. And I'm sure it goes back even further. And because this is a sequel to a game on the Game Boy Advance.
Right. It's is it Aria?
Aria of Sorrow? Or what is it? We played Dawn of Sorrow.
Yeah, Dawn of Sorrow and Aria of
I don't know.
Fuck. Whatever.
Yes.
The Aria one.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, to me, I got the same vibe of like sister games, very much like Dawn of Season or Jesus Christ, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages and
Oracle of Seasons.
Yeah.
I don't think like that because it's a sequel to it, so I wouldn't say it's a sister game.
Yeah,
but I see what you're
enough.
saying.
No, I see. Yeah, no, you're right. That was dumb.
And then before this, I've played a bit of Castlevania. Actually, it's interesting that this was one of your first games on the DS because one of my first games on the DS was Portrait of Ruin. And
interesting.
That was like I bought the DS and picked up a few used games with it, and that was one of them I played. It's funny because, like you said, where I thought I had made a lot of progress in that game, I can't wait to get to it in this because it's gonna be the same as you. Where I bet I barely even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
And
dude, I want to relive playing this game for the first time so badly, dude. Like,
well, there's so many of them. There are so many, and like I said, I wish that the one thing we should have looked up of all the things we'd been looking up before we started recording, the beginning of the Metroidvania, because, and I'm just so I'm sure there's great video essays out there about this, because who starts it? Is it Metroid or is it Castlevania? Why is it called Metroidvania? And furthermore, I am curious to how many and when Castlevania becomes Metroidvania, because before it's just kind of like an action side-scrolling adventure type game. So it's good and everything. And what's really interesting is the things that everything seems to stay the same, even once the gameplay changes into Metroidvania. And that, I mean, there's someone trying to resurrect Dracula. You are going in. You're eventually going to try to... that person's going to have some minions they will send after you.
Sure.
You'll kill them. You'll encounter that person. Eventually, someone's going to kill that person that's trying to bring back Dracula, whether it be Dracula or some other evil person.
Yeah.
And then you will fight Death, and then you will fight Dracula. Except for, like, 2 games before this game. Or maybe it's 1 game before this game, where they actually do kill and get rid of Dracula. Because, spoiler alert, the boss of this game is not Dracula.
Yeah, I was...
he was just like a demon.
Coming in hot for the first playthrough, little bummed to find out. But, like, it makes sense. He's dead.
Yeah.
They're trying to resurrect...
And if you watch this game, I automatically forget the guy's name. If you watch... I recommend, Ed, watching these videos. Let me pull up his name here.
Yes, please do.
I really enjoyed his voice, his just the way that he talks about all of it. The guy that does the Castlevania timeline, his name is Gamer Thumb TV.
Gamer Thumb TV.
Yeah.
Shout out, dog. I don't know about you, but
greatly appreciated.
You're coming in on a high recommendation.
So it's really interesting to see how much of the games hop around in timeline, and I'm wondering how much of it was pre-planned or how much of it is retcon, you know?
Yeah.
But they hop around. As far as the releases of games go, they jump all over the timeline.
Interesting.
Like, you really have to sit down and line them up and figure out where they go.
At least there's plot, there's lore, there's character development, like... Although I will say,
there's character development, but
yeah. But the little love
thing,
the love interest between the two shop owners.
Yes,
dude, what a
It's fun.
I liked that. It was just a little comedy. You know, every time you hit a little checkpoint, they got some new dialogue for you before you spam through it to get your items.
Is it Capcom? Is that right? That did this game, or is it Konami? I'll pull it.
Yeah, I got access to the computer.
Well, I can do it real quick. It's Konami.
It's Konami.
So
that was fast. That was an intelligent maneuver on your
part. It seemed like a Capcom thing to me, but it's Konami. And either way, they both have that like little silliness to the seriousness. Yeah. Devil May Cry also comes to mind. That may be Capcom, and that may be where I'm thinking of that.
I know what you're talking about.
Something I think that you'll find very intriguing to look at, not related to this game. Kind of related. It's Castlevania on the N64. They look terrible to play, but they're fun to look at. It's a really, like I've said, somehow, some way, certain shitty looking polygon games, the ones that I've always said would never end up looking good in retrospect, they're starting to look kind of cool. So...
Dude, I've always been, we talk about it all the time, dude, the less is more thing when it comes to games that are limited either graphically by the capabilities of the platform they're on or whatever.
However, in this you're kind of wrong, because at the time, this was what everyone thought. Everyone thought they should have done what you're saying, because they made it 3D. It's a 3D platformer adventure. It's Castlevania, but it's 3D game on the N64. It's kind of tanky looking controls.
Oh, fuck me. What?
But it would have been really interesting, I think, to see a 2D Castlevania on the N64, because you've got double the power that you've had. So let's see, what are you going to throw on that screen? Because, I mean, and then I guess this is what you get right here is Dawn of Sorrow, because that we are playing on a handheld N64, but it stays 2D, right?
Oh, so yeah. And it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. The background work.
Oh my god, dude. The environmental storytelling, man.
Oh, it just moves you.
Incredible. And like
it takes you to a different realm.
Oh,
and
palette is on point, dude. The enemy design, the animations, the character design.
The enemies are all so cool.
The interactivity of the environment, like at that beginning area outside of the two buildings, and there's like all of the light bulbs you can fuck up, right? The fuck if you jump down on the van
and the snow falls off,
it crumples and the snow falls. Yeah, shit like that, dude. Fuck, it was incredible. I loved it. It was just a joy to play through.
Yeah, there's things that, and then the unlocking of things, the secrets. Because I threw an axe one time trying to hit an enemy, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah,
and I'm
dude.
like, I remember feeling so mad, like motherfucker. Do you realize that now I'm gonna have to check this? Maybe I don't remember, but I know that I was just like, I have to go back to every room now and throw an axe everywhere. Yeah. And also the walls do it too. So any room you're in, attack everything around you. Dude, all the time.
I love secrets, dog. I love a game that makes it fun to just slog.
It pays you. It pays you for your hard work.
Yeah, you're getting fucking changed out every hour on the hour. It's beautiful.
It is.
Like subtle RPG elements with XP and, base stats and then gear.
Let's talk about gear. Good. Let's talk about gear.
Fuck, dude.
There has to be a wiki of
like all the different combos,
all the different weapons, all the different setups. What's the deal with it? Because 50,000 fucking gold for a silver pistol that shoots silver bullets for what? For fucking what? It was the most useless weapon I could have bought. I'm 50,000, dude. I could have bought that Soul Eater ring, and then, or like, I would. That's, you would have been close.
Did you ever buy the Soul Eater?
No, I didn't, and that's why I missed out on some of the game, like some of the.
That is fair.
Enemy, because
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to PocketCast.
Yeah, we talk about games and shit. We're talking about this game right now.
So we'll break down this game for you if you haven't played a Castlevania game.
Take it away. After you drink that water.
Take it away. Thank you for filling that silence.
Yeah,
that was
you're
perfect.
good. You're good.
Awesome.
I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
So a Castlevania game, once you hit this Metroidvania is a genre. All right. And so once you hit this Metroidvania type of genre, it's all about going and killing enemies. Once you get that ability from the enemies, because randomly they will drop an ability that you absorb.
Yeah.
And it can be a simple, silly one, like you're throwing a bone, at somebody. And so now you have a projectile weapon, as well as whatever other weapon you have.
Well done.
And you can get some other things, like they can give you a double jump eventually, or you can float down from your jumps, things like that make traversing the castle.
Yeah, it changes. It fundamentally
easier.
Can change the gameplay style.
Yeah, and you can think, oh
yeah,
now I can reach the spot that was way back at the beginning. I wonder what's up there. And there's a part of your brain that's like, it's all the way back there. I don't want to go all the way back there. And if it's all the way back there, it's probably not that good of an item. But then the other smarter part of your brain may speak out and say, but you couldn't access it earlier. So that's right. Bet if there is an item up there, it's going to be good for you right now. So you work your way back, and you're like, fuck, this is going to kick my ass again, da-da. But no, you're all leveled up. And so you're walking back through your old neighborhood, and you're fucking big man on campus, just spitting in people's faces. You just walk through like it's no problem, and you feel so awesome, and you can't believe. You laugh to yourself, this used to be so hard. And you also think, like, man, I miss this area and how this used to be hard, because this is pretty easy actually. And what I'm actually dealing with right now is fucking hard. So you make your way back, you go through. Oh shit, there's not just an item there, there's a whole new pathway. And then boom, there's another part of the fucking castle. And you start to realize how momentous this fucking game is going to be. And just how long and how you're like, oh, I've only discovered this percentage of the castle.
Dude, it's crazy. And the amount of stuff that they just pack in there. And like you'll go through whole different zones, they each have their own theme and their own like music set, and in many cases their own unique mobs.
Oh yeah.
And it's incredible. Like the bell tower, so sick. You're just jumping on the bells are part of the platforming, and they like rock side to side,
and then the bats come out of the bells when you rock them.
It's just
so if you're just
beautiful.
Gentle enough, they don't come out.
Yeah.
No,
it's a cool fucking game.
And you never know what thing you're going to interact with. Did you ever figure out what the projector was for? You run through a long ass hallway at one point. I want to say on the northeast.
The 2 total guards.
Yes, and then in the middle there's just a fucking. What is that? What was that for?
It's like a searchlight. You can use any ability that produces lightning. And you
turn it on.
You power it, and then it'll turn on the light, and it summons Mothman.
And
then you can farm him in that way for his soul.
And then here's another thing. You could pick up newspapers,
dude,
and the newspapers are like the crazies, that you see on tabloids, yeah. And
the crazies,
the crazy papes, yeah. That was Ed and I were talking about that earlier, and I didn't figure any of those out. But that's another the subtlety, the background work, because a lot of these guys are in the background, and they're things you have to interact with in the background.
Just part of the animation, seemingly so, of the background art. They're not even in frame. It's so clean, and it's so
I couldn't believe when you showed me that one. I couldn't believe it, and I'm just like, all right, maybe I'll go back through and get all those things now. I don't know, because it's so rewarding to go all the way back through. There are so many times though. There were many times where you just find yourself in a frustrating spot of like, there are no teleports around me. I have to go
all the way back,
all the fucking way back, around or forward, or either way, it's just going to be annoying. A place that I hated. Now, there was a zone that I hated that I enjoyed the enemies, but I just didn't enjoy. It was the water level, I guess is what you would call it.
Is it the one with the homunculus?
Yes, and it's got the merman, and I think it also has
There's the ice crystals. Bitch.
Yeah, the ice crystals, the Aquarius, and the pirates.
So the pirates, dude,
straight out of Hanna-Barbera, or is that how you say that? Yeah, it's like the
100%. They're so great. It's the most stereotypical looking fucking.
Everything down there was, and that's what I liked. It was like the fucking merman was straight out of it. The pirate was straight out of Scooby-Doo. Like everything was so inspired by those old cartoons down there. But I hated the terrain down there.
I did too. The worst thing for me are those like floating heads.
There's the Medusa heads.
Yeah,
the Medusa, because one turns you to stone.
One of the color, the green ones.
The green ones or the yellow one? The yellow ones turn you to stone.
Yeah, yellow ones turn you into stone. And
the green ones just hurt you.
Yeah, they just fucking hurt you. But they're infinite.
They flinch you, and they flinch you in the air, and that's the most frustrating.
Dude. And especially in that waterfall area where that's just the whole room is just them, just like. Like oh, man, and that one is fucking rough.
You do get an ability, I don't know if it's from killing one of them, where you no longer turn to stone.
Wait, what?
It nullifies petrification.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I do have that, and I never
you never
used it.
figured that.
However, the other one, if you get their soul, it allows you to breathe or expel a mist that will...
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Poison.
Words. No, not poison. It's the stone one.
Oh, it will petrify them.
Petrify. Thank you. Holy fuck. It'll petrify fuckers. That's how I got the Yeti.
Okay.
Because he jumps out to eat
Is he hard?
Curry. No, because the hard part, yes, I guess technically, because he'll jump out from the background into the foreground and then right back. And then so you have a second to kill him.
But if you have the stone thing, you just
fucking petrify his ass and then beat the fucking brakes off of him.
There's so many weapons in this game.
So many weapons, dude. So many fucking souls. I have so many souls, dude.
Did I tell you I figured out the soul release thing? It's only because it's the only reason you release a soul is because. So here's the thing. Let's back this up.
Okay.
We were talking about the love interest between the two shopkeepers.
Right.
One of the shopkeepers' name is Yuma or Soma. No, Soma's your main character.
Yeah.
Yoko. something like that. I think it's
Ono.
Yoko.
Yeah.
I think it's Yoko.
Yeah, Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono has a shop where you can upgrade your weapons by using the souls.
That's right.
That you collect from the enemies.
That is
souls
fucking fat too, because
powers.
the high-powered weapons are fucking expensive.
And then you can upgrade some shitty ones that you have, use some souls that you don't use, sell those to get some money to buy some health and stuff too.
That's right.
A lot of ways to farm. A lot of ways to play this game.
There are. You can there are tons of souls I never even tried. I finally at one point just like took a break and just went through
tried them and see what they did.
Yeah, and
I did
like
too.
some of them I found. I'm like, holy fuck, this thing slaps so hard. It just sounds dumb as shit.
So I was saying, when you are there though, besides upgrading your weapon, there's an option to soul release.
Yeah.
And I was under the impression that as you soul release, you are putting XP towards or somehow going to level up because there are levels to these soul attacks that you get. That's not the case.
That is not the case.
The
has to do
reason
with the
for
number
this,
of souls you have in your possession.
Yes. I did figure that out. Too late.
Yeah, that's.
I'd sacrificed a lot of souls. So the the reason for this is if you are a purist speedrunner type person and you're trying to just do it as a limited run, or there are certain, once they level up, people don't like the attack. So they wanted to go back
want the lower
to
tier
the lower
one,
tier
either
one,
for mana cost or whatever.
or whatever. Yeah, just some of them aren't as what you want them to be leveled up.
Sure.
I spent so long. There is a badass knight. Some of the knights in this game, they look fucking
the art
cool.
for them, like, honest to God, all of the mobs for the most part. I mean, some of them are just meh, but like you have to have meh mobs.
Yeah.
But the design. And yeah, there's a significant amount of like the bigger, badder version of that guy is just a recolored version, but everything is so unique and so beautiful.
Well, and their attacks changed quite a bit too.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, the color is all that changes.
Though. Like, they have the most variety.
There's like one guy that has the spinning blade, and it's on like a metal rope
the wheel.
Thing. Yeah, and he
or
like
whatever,
fucking throws it over, and then it
dude.
will come down and like a little roll. It took me so long to get his soul. And then
I don't think I ever got his.
I realized it could level up. And so I kept trying, and I got to 5 souls. It took me a long ass time. We're sitting in the hospital. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And get to 5 and doesn't level up. So I'm like, all right. I'm already too far in to give up.
Gotta keep going.
So I went for it, and it doesn't give you that. Like, because when you get it, it's just the blade in front of you. You don't get the ability to throw it. You never do. It just makes it bigger or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I was
that's
so mad. Dude. I spent so much time doing that.
One of my favorite souls to have leveled up another armor, by the way. So the one that holds the cartoon bomb, the round bomb with the fuse on top, you know, and he'll chuck it at you.
Yeah.
So that one, and then I don't know what the second tier version of that, like the one-time upgraded version of that is, because I just farmed it to 9. But I'll tell you what the maxed out level of the bomb is. It's a fucking like airplane bomb, like World War
like
II fucking with the fins on the back and everything, dude.
You just like toss it.
You just lob it, and like if you don't, so there's that supplementary soul we were talking about before that basically enhances your throwing ability. If you don't have that one equipped, you just lob it at your feet. And it's just like, and the fucking the model for it is so or the texture, whatever it is so big. It's just drawn on the screen, and then it kind of rotates itself and then explodes because of how big it is. But with the supplement throwing enhancing fucking soul, you fucking yeet that thing, dude. You do it mid jump, dude. You can just arc it all the way across the screen, and that thing fucks shit up. I'm talking like up to 300 damage.
So I guess my humble brag, my little humble brag is that I'm a fool and I soul released almost all my souls.
Oh no.
So when I went into the final boss,
oh no, dude.
Everything that I used as a soul like was level 1.
God damn.
Yeah. Ed had texted me saying like he sweated this boss.
I did sweat this boss.
And I was really scared because Ed is way better at games than I am.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Maybe not way better, but you are better. And so I was really scared. and I think I did better than you at it. Actually, I am curious. I don't
sounds
have
like
my
you
DS
did.
with me, so I'm curious to open it up and see. Like, watch, I'm level like 99 or something. And
I
that's
mean,
why.
if you are cool,
But
I
like
definitely
I said,
expected because I did a significant Okay, that area that you fucking hate so much, right before the homunculus,
yes,
the room that just has like 30 mermen, the
Yeah.
red ones,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
walking back and forth.
you just
I sent you that video of me just like eating hot pasta and it just burning them to death instantly.
oh yeah.
I did that for a long time, dude. I farmed probably like 20 levels doing that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Was it quick?
Honestly, yeah. So there's also an XP ring that you can get. That
Yeah, there
boosts
is.
your yeah. Also, if I throw the Soul Eater ring, which boosts your chance at getting a soul when you kill an enemy, right? Just yeeting it through that first mob of mermen, and you'd probably smoke between 8 and 10 each time. I would get like the max of 9 souls in about 5 seconds.
Wow.
I like if they didn't cap how many souls you would get, dude, I'd have hundreds of the merman souls.
I didn't realize 9 was the cap.
Yeah, you can't get any more than 9, which like that's probably not a bad thing.
It's not. It saves you.
Then I would have infinite.
It saves you, the player, too.
Yeah.
Because you don't get infinite. You don't get money for your souls.
No, the only way you can profit off of the souls is to like. You
make
can
weapons.
buy base weapons and
upgrade them and sell
upgrade
them
with souls.
True.
Sell them back for a profit. That's how I farmed money, because that Soul Eater ring is like 300k, and that was a grind.
I have a quick question for you. We're gonna break this fourth wall. You didn't hit done over here. Does that mean that our information didn't get updated?
Oh no, I did.
No.
I
Okay.
did. It just doesn't go away.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to backtrack like you do in this game.
Bring it back.
We were talking about, so once you get to about 70% of exploring this castle, fighting bosses, the story is unraveling, decent story too. I mean,
honestly, I liked the story.
It's not heavy. Like, it's not like a crazy, like you're going to be blown away by this, but it's enough to keep you going. And kind of, I guessed wrong about how the game was going to go.
I did too, actually.
So that's something to be said.
Hashtag spoilers, but when they bring in the girlfriend, and then fucking, I was shocked because
I was too.
It's a pixelated game, right? These aren't HD graphics where there's necessarily gore, but they executed that one.
They do, and there's a line that she shoots out of her hand.
And it's
some
just
magic,
fucking,
just a beam, and she
fucking
just
slumps, dude.
out.
I was like, yo.
Damn!
Yeah, that was cool.
So here's where there are multiple
fucking
endings.
Homelandered that bitch.
That's where you can get one of your bad endings right there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, maybe it's not a thing of pride for me to say that I got all the endings, because
well, it's worth trying. I think it is, because I did the same
bad.
thing. One of them I knew. So all right, let's get back. Is the one that we are currently talking about where the girlfriend gets killed? Is that before or after the mirror with the demon? The fire guy.
I think. Before.
Okay, so
right?
Yeah, so let's just say it is. So
Pretty sure. Fuck, I don't remember.
You've got some people that are assisting you. Obviously, we've said there's a shopkeeper. There's another guy.
You got Julius. Who's the dude with the fucking
black hair?
jacket,
That's actually from watching the videos. I know a little something about that, and that's he is actually Dracula's son, Alucard. And
yeah.
Alucard changes. He's like, I don't want to be. He does not want to be the vampire Dark Lord, whatever it is.
Right.
And that's in like way previous games. So then he changes his identity, and then he opens up this community, or it's not a community. It's like a
suburb,
Umbrella Corps type deal. Oh, okay. Is that what it's called?
Sure.
That like TV show? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, I guess that would be Resident Evil. It's the Umbrella Corps.
Yeah. I know that.
It's just like a legion, I guess, of vampire hunters. And
sick. All right.
So
organization.
But he's under this like secret identity. He eventually brings your main character a talisman that your girlfriend, Mina, has given, that she wants you to have to protect you. And it's supposed to protect you from dark spirits. Now, I don't know. I might have missed out watching these videos. I must have missed this. Soma is a vampire or something?
Man, I don't know for sure. I don't
because
think he's a vampire.
I thought he was, but then at the end they say something about him being human, and
I think he is human.
Really intrigued by that.
I think in a prior game there was some shit that went down, and it either manifested or gave him or whatever. But he has this ability that basically allows him to consume souls.
Which is usually a vampire thing, I think. It's like usually a
I think that's
evil
like a
person
primary
thing.
ability trait from Dracula, yeah?
Yes, I believe so.
Somehow he got it, which has marked him as the
next
potential Dark Lord.
And so this game's whole story is them trying to get you, it seems. Well, at first they were trying to get you to be the Dark Lord, and once you won't do it, the lady's like, well, I have 2 other candidates. I don't need you.
Yeah, I don't actually need you.
And so when you do that first kill, what happens is
like the very, very, very first at the intro.
No, sorry, the one where his girlfriend gets killed.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have that talisman on that she gives you, you absorb all of this like dark energy.
Yeah, you basically get possessed.
And this was her goal actually.
Yeah, baiting you into it because you Hulk out after she fucking
And if you don't have that talisman on, you become evil.
Yeah, you get possessed.
And that's the end.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so... okay. So I take it back. Darius's fight was first.
It was first.
Because you basically wipe out the 2 candidates, and then...
Then she does that move.
Not only that, but I distinctly remember the Darius ending being the first time I hit the credits. Because like you said, if you don't go into the mirror world and kill the guy's demon possessing him instead of killing him, the game's just over if you kill him. And then I was like, what? That's it?
Like, that's
I'm not gonna lie, I was way fucking overpowered for Darius, and I fucking stomped his booty hole.
No, I think it just is easy.
He is also very
I think that's like the point.
Actually, both of the candidates were laughably
easy.
Darius at least has a few different attacks, but they're extremely telegraphed and easy to avoid. It mostly just means... It's mostly an inconvenience.
Yes.
Like dying from it. Like I only died the first time because I was impatient as fuck and I kept getting burned.
With his fire attacks. His took me a few tries, but patience. It's all about patience.
That the demon fight, however,
dude, that dude was so cool. It's so fun, and that's what I wanted to get to talking about is that when you get into that fight, because you're fighting this guy. Earlier, you'd picked up this weapon, soul thing, where you can transport into mirrors. Yeah. And
they only use it the mechanic in a couple of key rooms to like get to the other side of a wall to get an item.
Yeah.
Or this.
It doesn't actually transport you to a mirror world. It just like makes it so that you can get past a wall. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it though.
It's the same
room. But then when you go But then when you go into this boss fight and this dude is standing in front of a mirror, you go and use that ability, you hop into the mirror, and then the room totally changes. Shit's crazy. The graphics, all of a sudden you're like just blown away.
Well, it just again, like that, the amount of work and the amount of like active gameplay that's happening in the background, to me, I think that's just good game writing. Yeah, and I love it. It makes like I'm paying a lot more attention now to the environment and like to the background art.
It's immersive.
Because like these mirrors are floor to ceiling and they are large. And during the entire boss fight, which is absolutely getting your attention because you're in a fucking boss fight. But if you pay attention and you look in the mirror, it's the reflection of the demon. Yeah. You can see him in the mirror. Yeah. And then you use that mirror ability and then you're fighting his ass. It's fucking cool.
It is.
They just really draw it in.
And just his artwork, the sprite work that they do on that demon. The mirror demon is arguably the coolest looking enemy in the game.
Ooh, yeah, I think
the final boss is sick. Don't get me wrong. The final boss is you don't really have it. He takes up so much of the screen that you really don't get a good
you never look see. At him. He's like 2.5 screens tall.
Yeah,
motherfucker. Like, and also scary. Props to them for making you having to platform up to essentially whoop a skyscraper's ass. Mm-hmm. They made it
makes you feel badass,
fun, and also it's like they did it well because I've absolutely played that game or that fight in other games, and it is not fun. It is disgusting. But anyway,
the Abyss is the name of the level that leads into.
Oh, the Abyss was wild.
Right into that. That's before you get to that battle. Right before the last battle is the Abyss. Yeah, and man, is it weird? It's some H.P. Lovecraft type of art.
Yeah, shit just gets super weird. What's the very end of Half-Life 2? Or is it just Half-Life?
Half-Life, Zen.
Zen.
Yeah, where you're just in a different planet. It's very similar because everything is just
trip.
There's like one level that's all made out of out of body parts. Like the background is obviously skin, and like everything that you're walking on is like organs and
There's
shit.
and if you look closely, like some of the shit's like pulsing or moving. Oh,
it's unsettling. It's cool. It's creepy. Is. I fucking love this game.
There's not a single thing about this game, honestly, that I didn't like. It has this mechanic. It's I think realistically the only touch mechanic in the game.
Oh,
the seals.
Yes.
You basically it's one of the progression mechanics that they have that basically gatekeeps whole areas of the game before you've done X, and you have to essentially regurgitate these drawn patterns, these seals, in order to open certain doors or to
seal away an enemy.
Yeah, but primarily the big bosses. Like once you beat their ass, you have to do the seal, and if you fuck up the seal, they get more HP back, and you have to fucking re-kill them.
But they don't get all their HP back. It's once you've got them down to there, it's pretty easy. But it becomes.
But if you're on your
heated
last legs,
and you're on your last legs, you don't have any potions left. You really start to feel that boom, 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 boom in your chest. Like, I gotta get this. So what you can do, and I did, was pause it right before you're about to get that again. If you failed the first time, you can practice your seals. Did you ever do that?
Oh yeah, you can practice them in the menu. I didn't realize you could do it in the game. I thought you just had to be at the main menu.
I mean, the main menu, not the main menu. Like, it's just your pause menu.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that I would always run it a few times.
Damn it.
And then went in.
I was doing it on like a fucking Post-it, dude, at my desk. I was like, fuck, man, I feel like that.
That's so
Damn
funny.
It, that's fucking funny.
And that's where
because then I had to find a fucking video or something. I was like, I gotta find somewhere where somebody has these drawn out because
I can't remember. I
can't remember how the fuck to do it.
Well, because Seal 4 and Seal 5 were really long. They don't. I don't know. The first ones kind of make sense. Like, as far as what they look like when you first pick them up.
Scratched our faces at the same time.
Our eyebrows itched together.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't mind the seals as bad. Once I kind of figured out how to do it.
Yeah, and once you told me about the speed of it all. Because if you go fast, that's what it's about. It's about a timer.
You have to do it fast.
It's not about accuracy as much. And once I just explained to Ed earlier, you don't even have... Because it's... What comes up is 1, 2, 3, 4, like... 9,
like 8 dots,
8 or 9 dots,
spread evenly on a circle. Yeah.
And it shows you, and it makes you think that you have to hit all of the dots, but you don't. You can kind of miss them as long as you do it right and you do it in the right amount of time. It works.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes life a lot easier.
Counterintuitive as fuck.
Mm-hmm. But and like you said, that seems to be the only complaint about this game. I didn't have a complaint about it. I was fine with it. I did feel a little gimmicky, I guess. Like, we have to do something with the touchscreen.
I don't disagree with you,
but
it didn't irk me. Like, it was honestly not the worst interruption for gameplay because it's technically the killing stroke of the boss, so it's not like there's anything else going on.
Yeah, it gives you a second to pop the stylus out because you don't have the stylus out playing this game.
Well, and the invisible timer doesn't even start until you touch.
Oh, yeah, so you did tell me that.
I've literally just left the DS sitting there, like, practicing on the fucking table.
Like, it's this way, right?
Dude, the fucking, at the guy that does the speed thing and he throws knives, he, like, has the time ability.
Zephyr or Paranoia? Zephyr is his name.
I think it is, yeah. Yeah. Not a hard boss at all. If you just stayed away from him, I found out if you actually hang out on one side with him instead of like always kind of sweeping back and forth, he will fuck your shit up actually pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I did that fight a couple of times because I just kept fucking up the goddamn seal.
Well, I felt like having one of our favorite weapons was a throwing scythe, and once you got another ability, you threw two of them at once. And with a boss fight like that, yeah, you just stand on the other side of the room, he comes over, you jump over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first abilities you get is essentially an equipment switcher, so you can keep 2 loadouts.
Yep. I never used that until the final boss fight. Like, I used it, like I would accidentally hit it and be like, oh fuck, what the fuck? Oh, like everything is because I didn't have anything loaded into the other one.
Oh really?
So I would just be
you would just be punching them.
Why isn't my magic working? What the fuck is that?
I used the equipment loadout swapper religiously, and like in fighting, like it was just seamless for me. Like I had my one punch loadout, which was like my heavy weapon, the fucking beefiest attack armor, and like just all the buffing shit. And that thing would just like, oh dude, I was dropping like 120s, 140s with that axe.
Damn.
Yeah, it's slow, but then like otherwise I'm like skirting around throwing the sickles like like a fucking ninja, and then I get up close and I fucking Brit on him real fast, hit him with a fucking D hammer or something. Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Did you ever? How long did it take you to realize that you had a down kick attack?
What? Well, like I know you can down and like you can down attack, you can crouch and attack.
No, you can like jump up and kick down really hard. So you can use that in some boss fights.
What?
Yeah.
There's an aerial down attack?
There's an aerial down attack.
Okay,
there's always something. There's always one thing about a
God
game that we don't share.
Dude, that would have been so fucking useful.
Yeah. I know. I always forgot that I had it though, so it makes you feel
I could
better.
think of literally so many instances where that would have been helpful as fuck.
You know what I found really useless? The werewolf soul.
I never bothered to get that one. What is it? Because he just like immolates.
Maybe once you like, I imagine once you level it up, it gets cooler. But as level 1, so you know how if you hit the L button you dash backwards.
Sure.
If you hit R you dash forwards.
Oh.
Yeah. When do you need to dash forward?
Yeah. That.
Never.
I mean, like I guess for like. Okay, so there's maybe as just purely a speed movement ability.
I
to
guess.
Be able to dash forward and just move more quickly for like speed running, or just if you're farming stuff and you want to or you're just traversing and not fighting. I could see that. Did you get the Black Panther one?
No, there's a Black Panther one.
Okay,
I didn't even know there's a Black Panther enemy.
So it's in the Abyss. And there's, I think, 2 rooms in the Abyss where there's a
Panther. I do. I didn't realize that was. It's so fucking dark, too. Like, so you barely see it. It barely
stands out against the background.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's pretty low.
That's so cool that that's a panther.
HP, so
it is. I thought it was a cat or something.
Its ability, dude, you just fucking, you're just the Flash, and everything that you run through takes damage.
That's so cool,
dude. It's a constant thing. It's a toggle thing, so it's just constantly draining mana, and you're just fucking.
Some of those aren't so bad. Some of them are really bad that are constantly draining mana. Some of those are.
Some of those are. Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, did you get the? No. The Medusa head that we were talking about earlier. Yeah. It just allows you to just like boop. It just locks you in the air wherever you are. You can hold it infinitely.
I didn't get that one.
That is how I beat the beast. That giant fucking boss up at the top of the tower. It takes up 92% of the fucking space in the room.
God, this was such a good game, dude.
It
was
so
like
good. There's so many ways.
There's so much to think back
everything.
on it too. Yeah. It's a game that you can talk endlessly about. I feel like with someone else that's played it, just because, like you said, there's so many ways to go about it. There's what I was going to talk to you about. Stopping time sucks. I never used that thing.
Useless. It's only used to get past that one room where time is fucked, so that way you can.
It is. You're right. That is the only reason for that.
You can use it in a fight, but it's like
it just stops the enemy for a second.
And even then, it doesn't
always stop all of them. Yeah. It was so confusing.
Because that would actually be fairly OP if you could just stop all enemies and projectiles.
One of my favorites that wasn't combat though, the bat. The moment that you can turn into a bat, it just
Bat Company.
Bat Company.
What a great name for it.
Yeah, it like the animation of you jumping up and doing a flip and turning into a bat.
You're just a bat now.
Here's this white bat. White bat because Soma, his whole color scheme is like he's got gray hair. He's a teenager with gray hair and like he wears like a white coat
and shit. Yeah.
Fun anime thing at the beginning.
Oh, the little main menu pre-title sequence.
Yeah.
It's so clean, dude. What a good.
Morgan looked over and goes, "Oh, you're watching a movie?"
Yeah, I know. It kind of looks like it.
That does look really pretty good. Yeah, compared to like seriously, some of them that we've seen have not been as good as this one. That you would think. Like, then again, though, Castlevania, that's a big title.
It's a big title, and honestly, like I want to play more of these. Mm-hmm. I will say, did you play Julius mode at all? I know you.
No, I want to because do you get a whip?
Yeah. So you get to play basically you can replay like once you get to like the 75% progression area, you unlock Julius mode
because you turn into.
It's when you do that sequence where you don't wear the talisman and you get consumed,
and then he has to go and kill you. He has to
go in and kill you because you're now the Dark Lord.
Oh man,
dude!
Yeah.
And it's so you start off with a double jump. And you can't equip anything. You can't change his equipment set or anything. So all of those are not available to you.
Okay.
Instead, however, you have 3 different like weapons to cycle through, and like a couple of different abilities to cycle through. There's different move sets available. Not only that, but he can then recruit some of the other NPCs to join him. And then one of the buttons that was mapped to something else specific to Soma. Allows you to essentially swap between those characters,
because that's what you do in Dawn of Sorrow, is that you have two characters that you swap between. So that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
And it's definitely different. Also, you just have a flat X, like a level, because you don't have like all the stats anymore. You're just a level 1, 2.
So
3.
it's a little bit more of a callback to like the original Castlevania.
It feels a lot like, having not really played those.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the pacing feels a little different because there's not that same verbose option for choice in terms of I'm gonna equip these and I'm gonna farm that. It's very straightforward, but it's the same. You're still going through the same area, but the way you get to move up through it is different because you're basically starting at 0, but you have double jump, you have maneuverability, so like you can jump into the castle,
because that's how when you see him, he does that. Yeah.
And it's just cool. It was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't put a whole lot of time.
I want to try that. That sounds really fun. Once I unlocked it, I really wanted to try it out because that was my letdown of this game, I guess, was that there wasn't a whip.
I was surprised by that.
So there's a lot of story behind that.
Interesting.
The only people that can wield the whip are the Belmonts, because it's got to be a special whip that kills. It's like the vampire killer or something.
Interesting.
And then I don't even know if it is in this game, because Dracula puts a spell on the vampire whip where Belmonts can't use it or something like that. Something happens and then someone makes a new whip. There's a lot that goes on. It's a fun, like, if you're playing RuneScape, you just need a video series to watch through. The timeline of Castlevania by Gamer Thumb TV. Check it out. It was really fun to watch through. I think I'll keep watching it, honestly. I'm not too worried about spoilers with Castlevania, because if you know the story of just Dracula, any Dracula,
seems pretty straightforward.
It seems pretty well,
they're gonna kill him.
Rinse, wash, repeat. Yeah, he's probably gonna come back.
And there's a lot of games, so he probably either won't die all the way, won't die for realsies,
or he will, and someone will resurrect him,
or he'll be resurrected because reasons.
People love Dracula.
Yeah,
women love Dracula.
It's a good series. I definitely want to put some more time into these games because this was such a treat for me. Mm-hmm. It just was so much fun to play and explore and grind, and this game was stomping my booty hole, and I still just wanted to keep going at it and putting time into it. I had so much fun playing this one.
I did too. I had a blast. And I think that we're going to keep things retro-ish. I mean, it's always retro here, right?
Yeah. Retro enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not too retro.
But it's got old roots. Very, rooted in the NES as well. We will be playing Mega Man ZX. And I will not be sitting through the 9-hour presentation on YouTube about the Mega Man timeline. But I recommend
you do.
Haven't you
already watched it?
I have, and I recommend people do. It's like 8 or 9 hours. I believe if you look up Mega Man Timeline PCP University, the guy's name is Ben Saint that does it.
Yeah.
Man, I really enjoyed watching that, and it gets wild. It's so weird and funny, and there's so much retcon that they do to make the timeline solid. That some of it gets crazy. It's real. I'm trying to remember if I've played. I swear I've played this game because when I was in high school, I went on I got the DS and I got the NES emulator, and I was like, I'm gonna educate myself on these old games. Ninja Gaiden, Mega Man. Those are the two that I really played. I didn't do a whole lot of Castlevania.
I always wanted to play Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden is a fucking blast, dude. And like, get it on, play it emulated because you can rewind time and you can really just perfect your gameplay of this. I see why older generations will say not to. They say to play it on the NES or just play it without ever rewinding. You're going to die a lot, but you're going to do that thing where you play through that beginning of the level and then you have it memorized, and then you just keep doing that over and over and over, because with it being on the NES, you've got like 3 lives and you can get more lives throughout the game, but once those lives are gone, you're starting the game all over at the beginning again. And even with having rewinds and all that, still a hard game. Save states and rewinds I highly recommend it. It's still a hard game. It's so fun though. I fucking Dragon Gaiden Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are my favorites. 3 was fun too.
3 relatively newer?
No, so
what was it,
1, 2, and 3 are like NES, I believe.
Okay.
And then you eventually get it on modern systems with modern-ish. You know, this would have been Xbox 360, maybe just Xbox. And they were no longer 2D, still very hardcore games.
Were they like 3D adventures?
3D, style? Yeah. 3D adventure-ish. A lot of sword fighting. They're really hard games. I think that I would get my ass kicked. There is one on the DS that we will play. It's similar. It's not like the old Dragon. Why do I keep saying that?
I don't know, dude.
That fucking painkiller's kicking in, I guess.
Hell yeah.
So it's not like the old school Ninja Gaiden. It's like the newer Ninja Gaidens. There was a re-release of a Ninja Gaiden, Yabuza, I think is what it was called. Ninja Gaiden Yabuza or something along those lines. It's on Steam.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
That might be what you're thinking of.
I remember
it is kind of like
it was a lot of the same platforming.
It's definitely different. It's modernized for sure. Yeah. But it does. I remember enjoying it as a fan of the series. I remember enjoying that game, but not as much as the original.
I just remember seeing some, because I had always heard of Ninja Gaiden. I just never played it. And I just assumed that it was just a ninja-flavored platformer, like a Ninja Mario. Right? And to be fair, it sort of kind of is, but it introduces a lot of different mechanics, like
the wall
grabbing and climbing, and like
Shurikens.
There's still a lot of that traditional Mario flavor in there in terms of like.
Yeah, I think I would compare it more to like the OG Castlevania games, because, and why I say that is what makes me think of those two games is what we talked about earlier, was that there's that whole thing about the enemies being off screen. And like if you back up and then go back forward, they spawn again, and like they'll come off screen and hit you and knock you into a hole. Like I feel like, and I could be wrong, maybe Ninja Gaiden started out as a arcade game, or this was just the nature of things, because so many video games were arcade games that they, when making home console games, kept some of those cheapy arcade game touches.
Sure.
Like that.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
So they both have that, and they also both have the thing where. So in the modern Castlevania, you pick up the abilities, you can switch them out and all that stuff. In the old Castlevania, there are still abilities and things you pick up, but you pick up one, and then you have it as long as you have it, unless you pick up another one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, like, those are the games where you will be avoiding power-ups because you've got the one that you like.
Okay, I fuck with that still, though.
Yeah, they're fun fucking games. I absolutely love them. The Mario comparison, I kind of would say yes, but I feel like it's more like Castlevania style of platforming meets like a beat 'em up like Final Fight, but a little bit more strategy to it. It's a hard game, but it's fun.
Fair.
Yeah, totally not what we're playing though.
No, we're still playing a Mega Man game, which I am excited for. I've only played a very small amount of Mega Man.
I'm curious what kind of Mega Man you've played.
Because
you said there was a Mega Man game that I got you into.
Yeah, you put me onto one, and I'm trying to remember if I played it on the DS or not.
Would it have been on the 3DS? But I don't think I had a Mega Man game on the 3DS.
I don't think so.
I had. I think it was Shovel Knight.
I love Shovel Knight.
Mega Man. I don't know. I guess I had Mega Man on the. I have Mega Man on the Switch. Maybe you played some because
maybe it was.
I
had
the Mega Man Zero collection, which is the ones
that's
on
retro, right?
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's got to be what it was.
And this is going to be.
It felt like it was Super Nintendo era.
I feel like once you get into Super Nintendo, they get easier. Like the Nintendo ones are the hardest.
Ass kicked.
But these are still really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to see what level of difficulty. Because that's just what kind of happened with games, right? A lot of them, as time went on, they got easier, and so I'm curious about this one because they also have Mega Man 9, 10, and 11, which are released from like 2010 to 2015 probably.
Damn.
And they stayed very true to they look like the NES versions. They probably have them in NES cartridges. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. So I am curious to see which route this goes. I'm sure I've played it, but just from like the video that we watched, I don't recognize it.
I like the stylization. The full blown color palette threw me off because I remember like the old school Mega Man games being fairly devoid of color. Not completely. They were just a lot emptier color wise. As like a style. I'm not trying to take a dig on it.
Yeah, but I think I get what you're saying. Like, there's just a lot more openness.
I guess, yeah. I'm not a color theorist or anything like that, or whatever. Whatever.
Well, it could also just be that it was 8-bit, 8-bit versus 64-bit that we have on here. Sure, that's
fair too, yeah.
And once again, there was a Mega Man game that went 3D when everything else hopped 3D called Mega Man Legends 1 and 2.
I've heard of that, yeah.
And I had that for I think PC, and I was just really bad at it. I think maybe some games aren't meant to be played on keyboard,
yeah, that's fair.
And
was it traditional WASD or
I don't remember.
Ported tank controls.
I think it was probably like tank controls. I was a child, so probably
fair.
tank controls.
Yeah. Like no mouse, just all keyboard.
Yeah. And so I think it also released on N64. So once again, we are getting the thing that they probably wanted back then, where it was like, just give me the 2D Mega Man again.
Make the
please.
Good games again. Stop trying to do
People love
shit.
Mega Man Legends, though. Mega Man Legends is supposed to be an amazing game, and that's a game that we were talking about, a game that you wished you would have gotten into, that you didn't get into. I owned it, and I still just didn't get into it.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's kind of happy that I didn't, because Mega Man Legends 3 has never come out.
Huh.
Kind of like a Half-Life 3 thing, you know? So it's like,
dude,
at least I didn't get burned.
Why would you remind me, dude? I'd rather lose the game.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Get fucked. We've never gotten any fan mail, and now we're going to get just like tons of hate mail at PocketCastPodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. That is where we could receive our hate mail.
That is exactly where you could send it, or we could receive it.
That's right. We do send a lot of hate mail out of that.
Yeah, we do. That's like, don't look us up on Twitter. It's just a hateful account. I've gotten banned so many times.
Have you actually though?
No.
Okay, yeah, I've never been banned from a single social platform.
I have not either. Good for me. I was banned from AOL Messenger.
That's not hard to do.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, germs and worms, pockets and casts. We're going to call it an evening, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Is that right, Ed?
2 weeks, unless one of us pops out another kid.
Can we look at the calendar real fast?
Oh, yeah,
so
real
fast. Let me see it.
Watch this. Calendar mode.
This is going to do absolutely nothing for my brain.
Yeah, no. So next weekend is the
It's going to be August.
Making that the 10th and
11th. Okay. Sure, why not? We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But if not, we won't tell you. We'll just do it when we're ready.
Yeah, we're busy.
All right, cool. See
Adios.
ya.